Hi folks, and welcome back for another fly tying tutorial. What you see in the vise, it's not big and it's not clever, it's simply effective. So without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise then is a Hanak H250 barbless hook. This one's at size 14, it's on a heavy wire and it's in a bronze finish. The thread I'm going to be using today is from Semperfi. It's the black nano silk and it's at 12 And as always with the nano silks, first thing I'm going to do is just touch a tiny little bit of glue to the shank of the hook. This just makes sure the silk doesn't slip about on the shank. And while I'm just bedding this in, later in the week I'm hoping to show you a video on the practical use of the washing line, and I've been tying a few of these up. I find them quite effective as a washing line fly when I'm fishing small flies, so I thought I would share this pattern with you. So the tail of the fly is some Glow Bright number 10, and what I do is take a length of that off and I fold it so that I end up with 8 strands altogether. And once I've got the 8 strands, I can tidy up this just over my waste basket and then dress it up to the shank of the hook and just clamp that down. Now size 14 is very small, but the flies I'm going to be fishing on the washing line are quite small as well, so I want something that's going to suit that. So I've tied in the tail, and what I want is approximately just over a centimetre. Now it might look quite long, I'm just going to fluff that out, but once I've added the Fritz body, you only see a little bit of the tail ticking out. Now for the body, I'm using some F&F jelly. This is the 10mm. Remember, the hook's only a size 14 and it's in orange sunburst. So I've got a little bit that I've been working with here and it's dried out a little bit. What I tend to do with my Fritz when I'm tying Fritz flies is I completely soak the Fritz while I'm working with it. It can be a bit wet, but it does work. This is dried out slightly, which I'm just going to work with, but what I want to do is remove some of the fibres from the core and then I can attach that in. As the thumbnail suggests, it's certainly not a big fly, but it's not particularly clever either. A booby, a Fritz booby will be nothing any stillwater angler's not come across before. But I find this particular colour combination really good, and as I said, as I'll be doing the washing line video later in the week, I just thought it apt that I do this first. So each turn I'm sweeping back the 10mm Fritz. Now with a size 14 hook you haven't got much room to work, so you can put the 15mm Fritz on, but it does look a bit silly and the hook point can be lost in amongst the Fritz. I'm just licking the thumb and forefinger in my left hand so I can sweep that back. Keep it damped down, it will behave much better for you. Now when you're doing a booby with Fritz, the key is always to leave plenty of room at the front of the hook. So I'm not going to come much further than that, and that'll be my last turn. Then I'm going to come over with my nano silk and just capture that in. Next I'm going to use my thumb and forefinger to sweep all that Fritz back behind, and I'm just going to tidy up the front. Then I can come in with my scissors and simply remove my excess Fritz. Now that's looking pretty good. I'm just going to wet my thumb and forefinger again. Just make sure you get all the fibres out the way. The wetter it is, the better I find, or the easier I find it to put the booby eyes on. So as you can see here, I've left lots of room at the front. Now that, for measurement's sake, is maybe about 4mm. That's quite a lot. Now I've used a 5mm booby eyes, and I've got my little tic tac here. If you're not sure how I do this, I'll stick a little video up in the corner there in the information bar showing you how that's done. So I'm currently just trying to find my centre. Then what I'm going to do is get 2 wraps of thread around the booby eye and gently squeeze it together. Now once I've done that, I'm just going to start winding up the thread, and then I can bring that on top like so. Then with a fly this size, 4 or 5 turns is all you need each way. So there's 5 that way. Excuse my fingers while I go round the other way. Now to finish off, come to the front, 2 or 3 turns in front of the eye, and then you can whip finish as normal, or half hitch, whatever you prefer really. Now normally I would just come in with my super glue and put it directly in the middle there, but because this fly is quite small, I'm going to use my bodkin needle. I'll get a touch of super glue onto the needle like so, and what I want to do is just open the eyes up and make sure that gets a good coat. Then I can invert my vise and just add a little bit of glue to the bottom, and that'll make your fly bulletproof. Now once it's dry, you can then put it in your fly tying box and it's ready to go. Now as I said, I've tied this up for a little video I'm doing later in the week, and it's to do with the washing line. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something out of it, and if you're enjoying what I'm doing, please don't forget to leave me a like and think about subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you all next time.